Story time in Elko, Nevada. So, when we were in Colorado, we met this girl named Jalen. She recommended that when we go to Portland, we should check out this place called the Black Cat Cafe. And so we did. We parked our van right outside the cafe and just met all kinds of cool artists. It was a cafe slash bar because they had beer there and you could just buy a 6-pack. And then like in the backyard, there was everybody. So we met this poet named Manifest Destiny. Very cool guy. We spent tons of time with him. Chase and I burnt CDs of his material for him, and in exchange he gave us a little bit of cash, which was really cool. And so we hung out a lot with this guy, Manifest Destiny. Then Jalen, just one day, Chase sees Jalen outside of Black Cat Cafe. And so on her travels back to Portland, she wrote a song about the floods and everything that was going on in Netherlands and her experience in it. And so she wrote this song, and we were going to go to her friend's house, who is an artist, and we were going to film it like in the basement because there was a little bit of a music studio set up. So we hung out there, met a bunch of other cool artists. It's really interesting once we hit the road and kind of started living life through art, and we met other people that are living, it's a whole different lifestyle kind of living as an artist, and it's a lot more low key. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations, but it's a very inspiring community when we've been around and experienced all these other artists and all these other people that have been living kind of through their artistic endeavors. After that, we left Portland. San Francisco was going to be a huge place for me because one of my first screenplay stories that I was writing took place in San Francisco, so I really wanted to go and spend some time like in the Bay and get some inspiration. So we got there. Every day there was just something. We did something else. Every day it was live music too. We spent a couple days relaxing, hanging out with my friend Chris, who I went to school with in Singapore. He and his family were very generous to us, and we really appreciated everything that they did. And so we left and we headed to Berkeley. And it was there that we met this girl at this burger spot that was like, hey, I'm having a launch party for my magazine. You guys need to come check it out. And so we did. And we went to this co-op in Berkeley, I guess somewhere on the UC Berkeley campus. And this co-op was just this huge freaking building with just painting and art all over the walls. It was weird. It was kind of run down, but kind of not, and kind of cool. And it was dirty, but it was cool. And like everybody there was like really cool, really laid back. And there was like these live bands playing like good kind of psychedelic punk music that was just freaking awesome. And so we met another guy that was having a show the next night for another magazine launch. And this one was on the beach. And so the next night, we get to the beach, and this is like right on the beach, on the beach, and there's just these campfires, just 30 of them, or more or less, just all over the beach, just little campfires in groups of different people. And then there was our fire pit, which had this drum kit and these amps and everything set up and running off of a generator that was like closer to the beach. There was just music, and it drew a huge crowd once this band started playing. They were playing Red Hot Chili Peppers, so that kind of obviously drew everybody. And so everybody was coming around. They played like Third Eye Blind and some like originals, and there was just a huge amount of people. So we partied there until probably 11 before the police came and shut everybody down, inevitably, regulations and everything, which was a shame. It's a shame that the regulations had to stop us from enjoying the music because, it's just everybody was just there just playing and having a good time and nothing was really happening. But because of these regulations, it's like, oh, well, you can't do this. So the day after that was the last day of the Hardly Strictly Festival. And it was just a huge free festival. And so I went to go check it out. And there was tens of thousands of people there, just massive amounts. There was all these stages. It was all bluegrass all over the place. And it was really weird. Just a bunch of travelers just trying to sell stuff and get by. And it was really cool because, it was a lot of people kind of doing what we're doing. And we were pretty much front row for the String Cheese incident, which was one of the best live shows I've ever seen. And it was all free. The sun was setting through kind of this scape of trees. There was like trees on both sides and then just a massive amount of people. And we were like at the very front. And the sun was setting as they were playing. And it was this very, very cool experience. this place, it was just about the music, and it showed, and the energy was different. I ramble on again, but after that, we basically loaded up and started heading east again, back home. We're in Nevada now, kind of at this town in the middle of the desert. So yeah, Nick got a little bit of cash from doing this film score, so that's going to help us, at least hopefully it'll help us make it to Nebraska. Then in Nebraska, we're going to try and put on a show to try and get a little bit of money to get us the rest of the way. And that's going to be risky, because this show is going to be on the 18th, and we have to make it back to Michigan on the 19th. So we're basically going to play this show, try and get as much money as we can from it, and then that night, pretty much as soon as we're done playing, we're going to pack up and drive straight back to Michigan, pretty much. So it's going to be pretty risky, but, you know, things have obviously been flowing a certain way for a certain reason since we've been on this trip, and so, you know, we're just kind of riding the wave and seeing where it's going to take us. But so far I have no complaints. I don't think any of the guys have any complaints, so I guess we'll see.